Welcome to Empire State Engagements. I'm excited to be in person at the New York State Museum, and I'm thrilled to be joined today by Connie Frisbee Houde, who is clothing and textile curator here at the State Museum. I'm excited to be joining you in person at the New York State Museum in Albany, New York, and I'm thrilled to be joined today by Connie Frisbee Houde, who is curator of the clothing and textile collections here at the New York State Museum and is going to discuss these dresses with us today.
Hello. These are two dresses that were worn in 1935. Wedding gown and the mother of the bride. We had a wedding gown exhibition on our schedule, and so we had a lot of the wedding gowns out, and these are just a couple of them. We started out wondering what mannequins to purchase, which is one of the things that museums and people who are displaying things have difficulties with, because many of the modern mannequins do not fit historic garments, or they're the wrong shapes, they have too long necks, they have very lanky arms and legs, and they just don't work for textiles. So these are mannequins that were purchased in London from a company that the Victorian and Albert uses. And often what you do is you buy a mannequin that is smaller than the garment that you want to put on it, so that you're not stressing the garment. So I do have a little video that will be included later of dressing the particular wedding gown here. And you'll see us putting the dress on the mannequin just to see how it fits. And then we realize that we need to pad it. So then the next one you'll see is our taking the garment off of the mannequin and then adding fiberfill and then covering it with a show fabric, which is a knit that looks very much like the fabric that's on the original mannequin. And that way there's very smooth and straight lines, and there's no bumps that just don't look right with the garments. And you can see that on the video. This dress has separate sleeves that fit in, and when she was going to the reception, she could take them off along with the jacket, and it's a very lovely revealing gown from the time. This is the pattern for the dress, and it has a back where it's quite low, and it has this nice cross piece in the back. So for the reception, she could look a little bit more elegant, and for being married in the church, we want to be a little more conservative. Not the way young women are today, but at this time that you wanted to be more conservative when you were in the church. This is the original veil. It has a beautiful beaded addition at the top, and it has this little piece that would have come over the face in the front, and then it's long in the back. This is a Vogue pattern, and both the mother and bride worked together on making their dresses. This is the mother of the bride. She used the same pattern, but a different version of that pattern. They did not economically need to make their wedding dresses themselves, but they both enjoyed the sewing, and they enjoyed working together. So that was one reason why they decided that they wanted to make them themselves. Here is a photograph of the bride and her bouquet. And we also have the wedding invitation. And the bride's was Florence May Louise Falk, and she married William Campbell Walmuth in Rockville Center at 1935 at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So we have all that information, and one of the things that we tried very much to do was to figure out who these various different people were by looking at genealogical information, Ancestry.com, anything that we could find out that would give us an idea of who these people were. Florence met her future husband because they lived on the same street, and they walked past each other and interacted with each other. And they were, she was an only child of a fairly well-to-do family. And later on, she gave voice and piano lessons. She married William on New Year's Day, which I think was kind of fun. The groom's father was a painter, and according to newspaper articles, he displayed his art at the Albany Institute of History and Art. I never had a chance to really follow that up and go through their back records that are not digitized to double check that, but it was in the Chatham Courier, and they eventually did wind up living in Chatham themselves. Florence sang with the Choral Society of Brooklyn while her husband was in aircraft manufacturing, and they eventually settled, as I said, in Chatham. And so there's a lot of things that you can, learn from looking at these garments. I'm just going to turn them around so that you can see the back. The beautiful buttons down the back, and this beautiful buckle, and the hat that matches. And see if I can get her to turn around too, so that you can see a little bit more of the back of this little jacket that has these buttons down and this sort of bow in the back. And the train comes out in the center. I'm going to turn her back around so she won't. But we had gowns prepared for this exhibit from 1797 right up to 2022. We had a couple of masks from a wedding that was held in Washington Park. One said just and the other said married. And they did the Zoom thing and had their family attend by Zoom. And they were determined to get married on the original date that they wanted, rather than waiting, as many brides and grooms were forced to do during COVID. So we really tried to include a lot of different kinds of things in the exhibition. And if you're interested at some point, hopefully this will either be in a catalog or an online exhibit, so that you can see the various different things from our collection.
Well, Connie, thank you very much for joining us. And now I will show everybody the video of you dressing the mannequins.